How do you study for your exam?
I look over my notes and sometimes I make flashcards.
And do you study the same for all subjects in the same way?
No, for example, for biology, I think the flashcards are more effective because it's memory, and for math, I will just look over my problems, and for the other ones, just review my notes.
Thank you. How do you normally do on your test?
Good, very good.
And how do you study for your important exams?
I normally do summaries about what I need to learn best, and from my summaries, I practice until I learn it and I understand everything I need to.
And do you study in the same way for every subject?
No. For maths, I always practice with problems. From humanities that I need to learn from memory, I practice saying the things I need to learn. Depends on each subject and what I have to do.
And do you use any learning technique, or do you know which is your learning style?
No.
How do you normally do on test results?
In some subjects, so, but in like Spanish or English, good.
And how do you study for your exams? How do you study for the subjects that you are so?
Okay. I do exercises and do exercises and read all the notes in my book.
That's for math.
Yeah.
And for example, for humanities,
I do
Or biology.
notes and then I tell my mom or sister to ask me questions about that.
How do I study for my exams? Well, I study the day before normally, and I read. So like math, I do exercises, but things that are reading, I learn them and I read them, and I have learned them all the year. So with reading, it's okay. That's why I'm in the honor roll.
hello, how do you study for your exams?
For math exams, I do exercises, and that's all. For other subjects, I do data, and I record myself, like reading them, and then listen to me once again.
And why do you do that?
So they, get in my head.
How do you study?
Okay, I like to resume all my final works and homeworks, and that way I read and reread, and they stuck in my head all of my life.
And do you study in the same way for every subject?
If the subject is really important, like humanities, I really study a lot because it's about learning dates and that thing. So I really put on my effort and reread until I learn them all.
And which do you think is the best way to study?
I think resume the most important things, facts, and learn them, and that way you will understand and learn things.
How do you study for your exams?
How? I do a summary of the topics that I have to study for. I open my notebook and take the most important notes and try to memorize them and do exercises.
And do you study in the same way for all your subjects?
No, for some, for example in biology, that's more of memorizing. I read the notes and I start to memorize them over and over again. For physics or maths, I do a lot of exercises. It depends on the subject.
Okay, thank you.